Drake's latest album, which features lyrics directed at ASAP, Rocky, and Rihanna, has gone viral online as fans analyze every word to see what it says about one of the longest-running love triangles in hip-hop. And how did ASAP Rocky react when video of Drake and Rihanna together reappeared and went viral? Let's now get into the complete account of what transpired between these three. From the that became intimate to the fight that no one anticipated, everything began with the leaked footage. Drake accomplished something in August 2024 that no other artist of his caliber had ever done. He posted 100 gigabytes of material on a new website called 100 Gigs for Your Head Top. There was a ton of behind-the-scenes video and 3 brand new songs. The site was well organized, with folders from years ago that included unreleased, studio sessions, rehearsals, and candid talks. The veracity of the website was confirmed when Drake shared a screenshot of it on his Instagram stories, and his label OVO Sound shared it on social media. Young Thug, 21 Savage, and Lotto collaborated on some of the new songs. However, that wasn't what attracted everyone's interest. Something much more explosive was hidden in the archive. 3 unused studio reference songs and Rihanna rehearsals were included in the Drake leak collection. Drake and Rihanna were seen in a 100 Gigs video practicing their 2011 Take Care collaboration in front of an empty venue during soundcheck. The chemistry was evident in the 2-minute footage even back then. The pair could be seen dancing and moving around the stage. Additionally, there was video of Drake in the studio with producer Noah 40 Shebib and his mother, Sandra Graham. Drake is seen in the studio with his mother and producer 40 in the August 6th video. Drake reveals in passing that Too Good is about Serena Williams as the song comes to a close. When I make songs about women, I also make songs for them, so I know what kind of song to make, he says. However, the Rihanna video became viral. A few of the internet users appeared to disparage Drake for thinking back on their partnership. Reactions ranged from annoyance to nostalgia. The question of why now was raised by the release. People close to Drake revealed that he wasn't too worried by the outcome of the conflict, despite the fact that hip-hop fans had elaborated on the fact that Drake had lost his epic hip-hop war with Kendrick Lamar. Others perceived Drake's intentional revisiting of Rihanna's memories at a time when she was starting a family with another guy as more premeditated.
ASAP Rocky was that man.
A grudge that had been festering for more than 10 years was ready to erupt again because of this footage. While touring with Jay, the Toronto rapper told a crowd in Tampa, Cole, that he is no longer performing the Billboard #1 smash song that he and Rihanna collaborated on. I no longer sing this song. You could sing it to me, he informed the throng of yelling supporters. The reason behind Drake's refusal to vocalize one of his most well-known tracks is unknown, but the song still sells more than 1 million copies annually. Drake would not perform the song as a result. On stage, he refused to mention her name, yet he had no problem posting video of the two of them together for public consumption. The man who had been living with Rihanna and raising her kids was undoubtedly aware of the conflict between the decision to disclose private footage and the failure to publicly acknowledge her. However, you must comprehend the origins of Drake and Rihanna's relationship in order to comprehend why this leaked video was such a hot topic. The history of Drake and Rihanna is more extensive than most people are aware. Drake was introduced to Rihanna while she was filming the video for Day Replay at a Toronto restaurant. Drake was playing background while diners were eating. This occurred years before either of them developed into the powerful worldwide entities they are today. Drake performed on Degrassi as a teenager. Barbados-born Rihanna had recently signed her first record deal as a teenager. Let's fast forward to 2009. Page 6 said that Drake and Rihanna were seen at Lucky Strike in New York City shortly after Rihanna and Chris Brown's highly publicized 2009 breakup following Brown's attack on the singer. The site was informed by sources that Rihanna spent the entire evening making out with him. The tabloids took advantage of it. Blogs went crazy, but Rihanna put an end to the rumors right away. Rihanna explained that she and Drake were still friends despite rumors that they were dating. Drake, however, had a different perspective on the matter in a November 2009 interview with Angie Martinez. Drake penned a verse about Rihanna in his song Fireworks and told the New York Times that she played him like a pawn after he wrote a song for her that was never released, acting like a rejected lover. He said, "I was a pawn. Are you aware of what she was doing to me?" She was doing exactly what I've done to a lot of women in my life, which is to spend time with them and then go. I thought, wow, this feels terrible. But Drake was unable to avoid me. He had moved past it by the end of the year. What's My Name was released by the two and collaborated on a seductive video. The song became viral. In fact, Rihanna handed Drake his first #1 with What's My Name, which was also her 8th #1 at the time. Years later, she would give him his second #1 with Work, making it her 14th #1 overall. These two were hitmakers together. They had chemistry on camera that was impossible to fake. After a hot performance of What's My Name at the Grammys, Drake and Rihanna were caught canoodling at a Canadian nightclub a few months later. Then, Chris Brown re-entered the picture. Things got complicated after Chris Brown re-entered Rihanna's life. Both men seemed to be vying for her attention. Brown collaborated on Rihanna's track Birthday Cake, and she collaborated with Drake on Take Care. The tension between Drake and Brown wasn't just it was deeply personal. Drake and Brown were both public about their rivalry for years. In an April 2013 interview, Drake claimed that the rivalry began because the woman that Chris Brown loves fell into Drake's lap. The tug-of-war played out in nightclubs, on red carpets, and in recording studios. In June 2012, Drake and Chris Brown allegedly got into a physical altercation in NYC. It was. Drake's feelings were ugly, public, and focused solely on Rihanna. Despite his interviews stating that they had had their moment, Drake told Rolling Stone that Rihanna was his ultimate fantasy. He speculated about what might have been, sampled her, and made references to her in songs. The man was by all means unable to let go. Then, at the 2016 MTV MAS, Drake gave Rihanna the Video Vanguard Award and said, "She's someone I've been in love with since I was 22 years old. She is among my closest friends worldwide. Despite the fact that she is younger than me, I have always looked up to her as an adult. In our industry, she is a genuine, breathing legend." Fans were left wondering once more after the couple's grand, televised declaration of love and their charming, if a little awkward, kiss, but behind the scenes, things had changed irrevocably. Rihanna later said she felt uncomfortable by Drake's speech and confirmed they drifted apart after that. 2 years later, in a profile for Vogue, Rihanna made their status permanently clear. "We don't have a friendship now, but we're not enemies either," Rihanna told Vogue in 2018. The last time Drake was romantically linked with Rihanna was in 2016. The door was closed for Rihanna. At least Drake, as we would come to learn, never fully walked away from it. While Drake was still publicly pining over Rihanna, something was happening behind the scenes that would fundamentally reshape the dynamics. ASAP. Rocky and Rihanna were getting close. They had known each other for years. Both were fixtures in the fashion world. Both moved in similar circles, and both had a shared sensibility when it came to style and culture. Much of Drake's animosity towards Rocky seems to stem from a perceived betrayal. The two artists were friends and collaborators in the early 2010s. That's the part people forget. Drake and A$AP Rocky weren't strangers or rivals. They were friends. They had collaborated. They had been part of the same wave of hip-hop that redefined the genre in the early part of the decade. But friendships in hip-hop can fracture along personal lines. And when Rihanna and Rocky's relationship became public, the fracture between Rocky and Drake became irreparable. Although Drake and Rihanna haven't been a romantic item for a decade, his several public declarations of love for his ex have continued a love triangle narrative. Currently, Rihanna is settled down with Rocky, whom she has 3 children with, and is rumored to have secretly married. Rocky, for his part, remained largely silent about Drake for years. He focused on his fashion endeavors and his growing family with Rihanna. He didn't engage in public feuding. He didn't fire off subliminal shots and interviews. He appeared content to live his life, while Drake kept referencing Rihanna in songs. That changed in 2023 when Drake released For All the Dogs. On Fear of Heights, Drake repeatedly says the word anti, the title of Rihanna's most recent album, and asks why they make it sound like I'm still hung up on you. On another late night, Drake seems to take aim at Rocky. "I ain't pretty, Flacco." He raps, nodding to Rocky's nickname. These weren't subtle. Drake was referencing Rihanna's album title, Rocky's nickname, and the entire love triangle, all within the confines of his own. The message was clear. He was still thinking about it, all of it. And then came the 100-gigabyte dump in August 2024. The leaked rehearsal footage of Drake and Rihanna that sent shockwaves through the internet. In another file, he shares footage of him and Rihanna rehearsing for a live performance of their popular collaboration, Take Care. He takes shots at her baby daddy, A$AP Rocky, on Family Matters. The timing was provocative. Drake was in the middle of his public war with Kendrick Lamar. His reputation was taking hits from all sides. And yet, he chose that moment to release footage of himself with his former flame. A woman who is now raising 3 children with someone Drake used to call a friend. The internet reacted with a mixture of fascination and disbelief. Many fans saw it as Drake being unable to move on, even years after Rihanna had made it clear that their chapter was over. The footage was intimate and nostalgic and, depending on who you asked, either endearing or deeply inappropriate given the circumstances. For Rocky, the leaked footage represented something more than nostalgia. It was a public provocation. Here was a man releasing footage of himself with your partner. Footage from a time when they were close, possibly romantic, and distributing it to millions of people. In any context, that's a provocation. In hip-hop, where reputation and respect are currency, it was a declaration. By January 2026, A$AP Rocky had had enough of the silence. He released his long-awaited 4th studio album, Don't Be Dumb, and it became immediately apparent that he had things to say on Stole Ya Flow. He even appears to reference his relationship with Rihanna in particular. First, you stole my flow, so I stole your BC. If you stole my style, I need at least like 10%. And getting BBLs. Lucky we don't body shame. Throwing dirt on Rocky's name. Turn around and copy the game. First you were my bro, Pi Yn. A switch turned into an Opie fixes his block. He's at a beach.
He raps.
The song was a direct, unambiguous shot at Drake. The references to stealing flow, stealing a woman, and the mention of a former friend turning into an opponent, all of it pointed squarely at the Toronto rapper. Rocky wasn't hiding behind metaphors anymore. Promoting his latest album, Don't Be Dumb, the helicopter artist sat down with Apple's Ebro Darden to discuss a variety of topics. While his was getting critical acclaim, Rocky's personal life was also being scrutinized thanks to the new song Stole Ya Flow, which the A$AP Mob member himself seemingly confirmed features bars targeting Drizzy. Then Rocky did something unusual for someone who had been so guarded about his personal life. He went on DJ Academics' show and laid it all bare. In an interview with DJ Academics, Rocky was asked about his alleged feud with Drake. According to E!, he didn't back down from the question despite being confronted with theories that Rihanna is the source of their conflict. It seems that he even agreed. I'm not going to cap with you. Academics started. Asked N. I said, yo, I'm just going to keep it a bean with you. I think y'all are beefing over women. Naki said, yo, Egg, I think I and that person are beefing over women too. That's why I like him.
The
personality went on to commend Rocky for his honesty, noting how many artists would dodge the subject altogether. That's honesty, he explained, because that's what I'm thinking as a fan. I'm watching him like, yo, why are they squabbling? Why are they beefing? In a separate interview, Rocky got even more specific. This thing between us, it's not real smoke, but I just don't fuck with him. He said, we were once friends. I think it's done with women. I think he conveyed that he wasn't happy. Then Rocky took aim at Drake's long-standing practice of disparaging Rihanna in his songs. Rocky stated he thought it was time for Drizzy to get past whatever had transpired between them in the past and called Drake soft for making repeated jabs at Rihanna in recent years. I believe it's soft for you to be picking on a woman when everyone is getting older, and you should be moving on. He went on, I didn't put out for me to say something back, and I finally did say something back to a few people. I do think that Shesh is petty. It's enough money, fame, women, and spotlights to go around. We're not really tripping off nothing. Rocky dismissed the question of whether there was actual smoke between them. Is that smoke real? It is not possible. That smoke isn't authentic. However, the album's bars sent a different message. The academic interview revealed a different tale. The fact that Rocky was speaking to Drake in public at all conveyed a different message. Rocky was a man who had finally come to the conclusion that remaining silent was no longer the proper course of action after being spurred by leaked video, subliminal insults, and years of Drake making references to the lady he loved. Drake's previous lyrics regarding Rihanna were deemed needless and soft by Rocky. The multi-hyphenate explained that he still doesn't appreciate Drake even though there isn't any actual smoke. Hip-hop's fundamental problems with ego, image, and personal limits are reflected in their repercussions. Rocky and Drake will probably never be buddies again as soon as possible. That was in January of 2026. Furthermore, anyone who believed Drake would ignore Rocky's album and interviews was ignorant of Drake. He replied, "Drake did what Drake does on May 15th, 2026. However, he didn't reply with a song or a post on social media. Drake released 3 albums instead of simply 1. Additionally, Drake attacked numerous celebrities in the 43 songs that were released on May 15th in Iceman, Maid of Honor, and Habibi. Drake is not a huge fan of forgetting or forgiving. The rapper presented 3 albums at midnight, including Iceman. He lets out steam and takes aim at the foes and adversaries he currently faces. The insults from Rocky and Rihanna were delivered quickly and sharply. Drake's criticism of A$AP Rocky and DJ Khaled on Iceman was confirmed by Charlemagne the God. In the end, Rihanna and A$AP Rocky got a couple bars on Burning Bridges. Drake said the line that went viral on social media on Burning Bridges. "Your baby mama hasn't even posted where she is." The obvious implication was that Rocky's career was not entirely supported by Rihanna. Although Rihanna has publicly lauded Don't Be Dumb on social media and attended its release, the comment appears to be a jab at her failure to promote Rocky's most recent album. Another bar in the same song was directed at Rocky's Academics interview. "You dropped your record and came back after seeing my brother and attempting to make things right. The brother is probably DJ, Drake's ally." Scholars who are highlighted on Iceman. In an interview with Academics to promote Don't Be Dumb, Rocky made multiple disparaging remarks about Drake. Drake later raps, "I still got love for your missus, but I'd be more brutal with her adversary." Of all the lines, "Still got love for your missus" was arguably the most controversial. Drake was attacking Rocky and claiming to still have feelings for the mother of Rocky's children at the same time. That kind of comment is like gasoline on a fire in hip-hop. Drake wasn't finished, though. Almost everyone in Drake's social circle catches strays on close buddies. Naturally, Rocky and Rihanna fall into this category. With the acronym-filled lyrics "Cause ASAP," Drake actually expresses his disdain for his ex-friend. "That's something you could do for me." Drake appears to point out discrepancies in Rocky and Rihanna's timeline later in the song. "Tell him what year she dated me and why you truly despise me." The question, "What year did she date me?" directly challenged the story. Drake was implying that there was overlap, that the chronologies of both his and Rocky's relationships with Rihanna weren't as pure as many thought. It almost doesn't matter if that is true or not. The ultimate provocation was Drake's willingness to bring it up in public on a song that millions of people might hear. Drake also makes explicit references to sharing women with other rappers on Ran to Atlanta, mentioning, "Women that I already fucked at the height of my success." It was an obvious message. Drake used Rihanna's past as leverage against the man she now referred to as her partner. Iceman is now one of the most talked about hip-hop releases of 2026 because of Drake. Beyond the unexpected triple album release, viral launch, and streaming figures, the project's strong lyrical jabs at a number of celebrities, including longtime competitor Kendrick Lamar, A$AP Rocky, Rihanna, Rick Ross, and even LeBron James, are making headlines. This perpetuates a well-known pattern in which Drake frequently uses to make his personal complaints public. Iceman's overall tone tends strongly toward confrontation, with some songs featuring scathing comments directed against Ians who have encountered Drake in the past few years. By tweeting a reminder that Rihanna gave Drake his first and second #1 hits, "What's My Name" and "Work," respectively, the Rihanna Crave fan account brought attention to the absurdity of the whole scenario. Drake's career reached its biggest commercial peaks thanks to the same woman he was now disparaging on albums. The incapacity to move forward, the pettiness, and the lack of thanks were noted by enthusiasts.
And here we are now.
subliminals from 3 albums, and a video that was leaked and shouldn't have been seen. Rihanna herself is at the core of the reaction to Iceman, and years of tension over a lady who has made her decision, and 2 rappers who were once friends standing on opposing sides of a split demonstrate how profoundly engaged viewers are in rap's broader cultural storylines. Drake thoroughly embraces the turbulence and spectacle that have always driven his career, even while the frequent revisiting of past feuds runs the risk of overshadowing the itself. One thing is certain, regardless of whether it is perceived as emotional retaliation or strategic debate, Drake is once again in charge of the worldwide hip-hop discourse. Rocky described it as soft. Drake referred to it as. It was referred to as content on the internet. However, none of them would likely acknowledge that beneath it all is something more human and raw. The tale of 2 men and 1 lady, and one of those men's incapacity to acknowledge that the tale has long since come to an end. Despite the fact that Drake and Rihanna haven't been romantically involved for 10 years, a love triangle narrative has been maintained by his multiple public protestations of love for his former partner. Additionally, the public's perception of that triangle is altered each time Drake releases a new song, collection of videos, or subliminal bar. Drake has his, Rocky has his family, Rihanna has her life, and that continues to express what his pride prevents him from expressing in any other way. Depending on what transpires next, Rocky might challenge Drake once more in an interview, on a song, or someplace else. However, the past 2 years show that this drama is far from over. Not even near.